This works for women too. Slowly start getting your shit out, right? Then you fucking break up with him and you walk out the door, and that's when it dawns on him, like, holy fuck, his drawers are, everything's gone, you know? You drive down the street, you already have a new cell phone, you push the other one out the window. No, you have to go to the cell phone. She's into that, like, that's how you do it, get the fuck out. Change my identity, man. Yeah, like looking back, I was in my relationships that I fucked up. I knew so early on, there were like signs that I didn't want to be with this person. So ladies, you gotta look for signs. Sometimes I see women on dates, I can already tell it's not gonna fucking work, you know? Like, you know, here's one for you ladies. If you're on a date with a guy, okay, at any point during the evening, if he cracks his own neck, just get the fuck out of the relationship right now. That guy's a lunatic. He's gonna slap you around. At best, he's just dumb. And you're gonna have a bunch of stupid kids that drive tow trucks and never own the company. That's basically what you're gonna have. And no matter how much you love them, you're gonna see half his stupid face in their eyes every time they look up at you, and you're gonna feel empty. You're gonna feel empty. You're gonna start banging the manager down at Roy Rogers. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess. Here's another one for you. This is another dangerous one to be doing in Dallas. Here's another guy to look out for. Little guy, big watch. You know those guys, those little stumpy fucking guys, they got a grandfather clock on their, look how big my watch is. That's how much of a man I am, right? I'm not saying they're all bad guys. I'm just saying, ladies, you're gonna have to expend a lot of energy trying to make that person feel tall enough. Throughout the relationship, crouching down in photos, never wearing your heels, right? And you're gonna have your fights, and one day you're gonna have the big fight, and he's gonna storm off, and you're gonna watch him waddle down the front yard, and you're gonna be upstairs crying, folding his little pants, and it's finally gonna dawn on you. I could have had the exact same problems with a regular full-size man. For 3 years, I never felt safe when he held me. I just felt like I found a lost 8-year-old at the mall. All right, it's only fair to help out the guys now. All right, here's one for the guys. If you're dating a woman who's always cold, bad sign. Bad sign. I don't mean cold here. I mean like the hands, the feet, the extremities. Almost like her heart isn't big enough to you know, when they get into bed with those cadaver feet and they put them on, they just sit up in bed like a fucking vampire. You know those women, those fucking skinny, emaciated, so fucking skinny, and even in photos they still stick one leg behind the other, look even skinnier. The sleeves, everything they wear, like the sleeves hang like halfway down. They're sort of as like a sleeve mitten kind of thing, you know? You give them a drink, any drink, they gotta hold it with like 2 hands, like it's too much. You can't breathe with that, all right? You're gonna have sickly little children with allergies, walking around with 3/4 of a cold. You're gonna have Kleenex in every fucking room. Yeah, I'm telling you, women like that back in the day, they didn't survive the winter. They froze to death. But because of the invention of centralized heat and the C-section, they continue to thrive in modern society. You guys all brooding, they did. They died during childbirth. That's why you wanted a broad. That's what a broad meant, broad hips. You wanted something with some big mother and hips that wasn't going to die during childbirth, and that farmhand would live. Then you can stick it behind a team of oxen, and she can keep banging you. That's what you wanted something with hips, a big ass, something your kids could hide behind during a hurricane. Take a couple of pieces of plywood off the dome. Dude, if you look at paintings of hot chicks in the fucking 1800s, they're all fucking 4th and goal. Fucking lining up. Those are some tough fucking women. There was none of this shit. None of you all fucking emaciated. I'm so skinny I don't even ovulate anymore. trainer. All right, here's one for everybody. Everybody, gay, straight, male, female, whatever. If you're dating someone and the first time they take their shirt off and you discover that they have a paragraph of self-help or an inspirational quote in their ribcage, their shoulder blade, just immediately get out of that relationship. I don't care if you're driving in a car, open the door and roll out onto the fucking car. You can't, the level of fucking arrogance, like I so have life figured out, I gotta put the instructions on my body. And I've thankfully worn a tank top today so you can read it as we both fly a Southwest flight to Vegas because we still have our lives together. Anyway, so how psyched are you guys? Football season's back, huh? What do you think? What do you think? I know that's like the biggest soap opera in sports. It's all like the Dallas Cowboys stuff. Are you guys already yelling at him on the radio? You're already freaking out? Or are you liking him? This guy's going, it's over. It's over. I watched 4 preseason games. I'll tell you right now, the fucking backup left tackle was really like concerning to me. No. You know what your problem is. I can't say it. You know what it is. You know what it is. You just gotta wait that out. You gotta let that problem die. Someday that problem will die. Hopefully fucking move on. Alright, that was a dumb thing to bring up. I don't know why I brought that up. For all I know, he's here tonight and we'll put out a hit after. Coming down now in his high-speed elevator. I do think it's fucking hilarious that he bought that giant fucking TV and stuck it up there. It was amazing when it first came out, but the second I saw it, like within 5 years, he's just gonna have the world's biggest old-ass TV hanging from the top of the stadium like some shit you get at Radio Shack. The fucking phone is clearer than this shit. What's going on here? I did take a tour of that stadium. I just love that whole Dallas vibe. Like everything was the biggest. See this bathroom? This is the biggest fucking bathroom in the NFL. I don't care how big the shit you're taking, this fucking toilet can take it. It's like, alright, I guess that's cool. I guess that's something you'd want in the stadium. Anyway, plowing ahead here. I've been having a good time here. I do the road too much. I'm not going to tour like this. Like next year's going to be every other weekend rather than bam, 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 bam. It's too much with the kids, you know? It's too much with the kids. You can get your kids all the toys in the world, but they need your time, so I got to make sure that I have stuff. That's what I figured out this year on the road. But yeah, me and my wife, we've been getting along great, probably because I'm not home. No, it's great. It's like it's renewed, and right as you get annoying, then you fucking leave again. And I miss you, and you come back. No, it's we just have better fights now. Like we have the fight, and right when it's going to get ugly, we both sort of stop. We figure out what each person is saying, and then we sort of laugh, and then it's fucking good again. As opposed to like before, we get in fights, say fucked up shit, and not talk to each other for like 3 days. The whole thing is like stupid. I don't know. Huh? Must be the beard. She does like the beard. I'm not gonna lie to you. But she goes, I like the beard because I can fucking grab her under it. That's just nuts. I'm sorry. She says passionate. I'm a passionate person. That means that girl's gonna hit you. That means she throws shit. I'm passionate. This is how much I believe in this relationship. You fucking asshole. What's that now? It's called jujitsu? You want me to put my wife in an armbar, man? I would, you know what I used to do? I used to just pick her up. You can't stay mad if your feet aren't on the ground. There's just a weightlessness to it, right? So she would get to a certain level of mad, and I would just go, come on, who loves you? Come on! it down, you fucking asshole, and she just started giggling. Seriously, I'm seriously fucking mad right now. We had this insane fight the other day, right? It's one of these deals like, you know, as a married guy, you think you're having a great day as a husband, and you have no idea you already pissed your wife off like 6 hours ago, and she gave you a sign, and you didn't pick up on it, which makes her even madder. You're like, this sign, like the difference between them being happy and being mad at you could be literally going from this to this. Like, that's it. And if you don't pick up on the crossed arm, like my wife's thing, I learned it now. She crosses her arms and she looks out the car window. She's fucking mad at me. Then I immediately go, all right, what did I say? Because it all sounded good in my head when it came out. How the fuck did I piss you off now? Yeah, I thought I was having a great day. I fucking pissed her off somehow. And at the end of the night, we were putting my daughter to bed. And I said goodnight to my daughter, gave her a kiss, and I walked out, and I went downstairs to do what I always do. Go out on the back porch, and I smoke a cigar. That's what the fuck I did, right? But I didn't tell my wife that that's what I was doing. And evidently with a woman, if you don't do that, that's enough to make them feel like you don't love them anymore, right? Now the other night he said where he was going. This night he didn't. Does that mean there's something going on, right? So I walked downstairs completely ignorant, and she sent me a text message. I swear to God, it says, "Where are you?" Like, what do you mean, where am I? Where the fuck I've been the last 700 nights in a row? You know where I am. Don't text me like you think I just abandoned the family. Like I just like Johnny Appleseed, no wallet, no keys, left my car. Start it over again, right? So I'm like, that was weird. And she didn't come downstairs, so I just called up a buddy of mine, and we started shooting the shit, we're laughing, having a good time, and out of nowhere, my wife just starts fucking screaming at me from the other side of these glass windows. She's like, "Oh, that's right, you're down here talking to your friend, and you can't fucking hang out with me, you fucking asshole," screaming. And I was caught off guard, I had no idea she was mad, right? And she was yelling so loud, my friend on the phone heard it. And he was going like, "Dude, is that your wife?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Is she yelling at you?" And I just feel like a scaredness in his voice. He was like, "Is she yelling at you?" Which made me laugh, but I was looking at my wife. Which just took her, she's like, "I'm not funny, everything's just fucking funny." I'm like, "No, I'm laughing at him. He didn't scare you. Fuck you, I'm going to bed. Go fuck this." And she goes to bed. And I'm just sitting there like, what in God's name? What was that? What the fuck was that? So my buddy is sitting there all scared, you know, just going, "Dude, get right in there. Maybe you should get off the phone. Like, you should. It's like, dude, why are you fucking scared? I'm the one that has to deal with this shit, and I'm not getting off the fucking phone. No, I'm not getting off the fucking phone. I didn't sign up. It's okay for you to yell at me from the other side of doors while I'm on the phone. If I put this cigar out and go upstairs right now, I ain't signing up for a fucking nightmare. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna finish this cigar. In fact, I'm gonna fucking smoke another one, right? Because I need to stand my ground on this, and I also need her to be a little less awake when she yells at me when I get upstairs. I'm trying to take a little mustard off her fucking fastball. So I stayed down there, I smoked 2 cigars, came upstairs like 2 hours later, creeping up the fucking stairs, hoping she went to bed. And I look up, of course, the light's still on. I'm like, fuck. I can't go in there hanging my head. Fuck this shit. I know she's gonna be mad. Go in there with opposite energy. That was my game plan. And I opened the door, she was so cute. She's sitting there with her arms crossed like a 2-year-old, like, oh man. So I just walked in like opposite, like, hey, how you doing? See ya? Hey, let's fucking go in. Fucking watch some dumb shit, right? She's like, that's right, you don't even give a shit, do you? You don't even give a shit. Started yelling at me, and I just finally, I just stopped. I was like, honey, what are you yelling about? Why the fuck are you yelling at me right now? Like, what is this about? She goes, I just feel like you're blowing me off. I'm like, how the fuck am I blowing you off? She's like, well, you said you were gonna have dinner with me after you go out to the garage, and you go out to the garage, you ended up playing drums for an hour. I was like, all right, I did do that. And then you put her daughter to bed, you don't say anything, you just walk out of the room like I'm not even there. She started crying. I gotta get better at hugging my wife when she's crying, rather than staring at her. Like I'm watching a TV show of somebody else's wife crying, just sitting there like, wow, somebody really fucked up now, didn't they? So whatever, I walked over, I hate when they cry, man. It's the fucking worst, because then you lose, even if you're right. If they can somehow start crying, you know, they can all cry over anything, you know. Like, I'm sorry, whatever. I said, I didn't want to make you feel that way, you know. She says, yeah, what was going on with you today? You know, you screamed fuck in front of my mother. I said sorry. I was trying to buy something online. I'm old. I don't know how to do it, okay? And the last time I went to school, you still had fucking typewriters. And we were amazed that you could erase with them, right? So I was trying to buy something. I couldn't figure out how to fucking do it. I finally figured it out. And it went through. And 2 seconds later, I got a text message that said, fraud alert. Sale has been canceled. You have to do it all over again. And I just slammed both fists on the breakfast table like, fuck! Like that. I kind of forgot where I was. And I'd be lying if I didn't say my mother-in-law's toast came up off the table for a second, hovered and came back down. And I said, I'm sorry, right? I said sorry about that. She goes, all right, I appreciate that. And I was like, well, you know. So, like, she's like, why didn't you just fucking come up? You knew I was mad. I was like, because I wasn't going to sign up for you. Like, you yelled at me while I was on the phone with my friend. She's like, yeah? I said, what do you mean, yeah? Can we just flip this for a second? What if you were downstairs on the porch talking to your friend, and I'm on the other side of the door out of nowhere, I just start screaming at you, oh yeah, you haven't blown me at like 3 fucking people! I would never hear the end of it! You would have been like, I was so mortified. So she laughed, and I said, all right. She goes, all right. She goes, I'm sorry. I go, you gotta do better than that. No, I don't mean blow me, you fucking maniacs. Jesus Christ. Dallas, Texas. All right, I guess owning a gun isn't that bad. Said you wanted to talk, sweetheart? No, I meant you gotta apologize to my friend, because he should have been fucking dragged into this shit. Which she did. And everything ended up being cool. And I don't know. The arguments don't always work out though. I saw some feminist was doing that abortion thing, so she was all fucking upset. You know? She said something fucked up about guys, which pissed me off, so I decided to trash all women to my wife. So of course she got mad. She was like, why would you say this to me? Not only am I a woman, I'm also a feminist. And I said, you're not a feminist. And she goes, yes I am. I go, no you're not. And she said, why aren't I a feminist? And I said, because you're beautiful. I go, beautiful women are not feminists, okay? You don't have the time to give a fuck. You're too busy being beautiful, going to events, not standing in line, having drinks sent your way by creepy older guys trying to fuck you, you know? Too much of your day is taken up. I go, real feminists are ugly women that have to pay for their own drinks, right? She immediately turned around and stormed out of the kitchen. And I yelled after her, I go, you know that means that's going in the act! No, it's true. Regular women and ugly women, they're the ones that move the needle throughout history for women. It's not hot chicks, they're on yachts. They're riding around in cars, they're blowing old guys, right? They don't give a fuck about you fucking regular looking women. You can all get trampled underneath their red-bottom shoes. They don't give a fuck about you. Right? But regular to ugly women, they do shit for the cause because they're feeling the effects, especially ugly women, all right? They are in feminist delusion. They are. Look at the look, they're the ones that make the signs. They're the ones that organize the rallies. They're the ones you see on TV. When was the last time you saw 10 yelling to a bullhorn at a feminist rally? And you're saying, oh my God, damn, look at the ass on that broad. Holy shit. I don't give a fuck what that message is. I fucking Eastern European looking broads walking down the street. Oh, we've had enough of your shit, right? And we can't hear what you're saying because you're ugly. And that's the problem with the feminist movement. You don't have any hot chicks saying what you want. That would put it in hyperspace if you did that. Haven't you learned anything from male advertising? Look at Hooters. They've been convincing men for 40 years that that's good chicken. The men don't notice because there's double D's in their face. Would you like 6 more roided up chickens that grew up without beaks? Absolutely I would! As long as you keep sticking your cleavage in my face, I'll fucking eat this place up. You go out of business or some shit, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Regular women, just plain Jane. Regular women, chicks who like to read, right? Those are the ones. The ones that take pictures of like trees and shit on their Instagram. All the hot chicks are like fucking taking pictures of themselves, doing all this shit. It's like all about them. They don't give. They're saying it right there. They don't give a fuck about you, right? And I feel like the regular women and to ugly women, right? Basically the 6s on down, right? A 7 in a small enough town, you know, can at least get a ride in a Camaro. I stand by that. I stand by that. All right? I'm going extra ignorant with this joke tonight because I feel I just kind of vibe too. So, yeah, those women, like the hand that they're dealt in life is just fucking nuts, right? It's like on one hand they get the most powerful thing in the world, they get a vagina, all right? But it's wrapped in this package that nobody gives a fuck about, right? Like their lightsaber never turns on. And meanwhile, they're watching all these hot chicks just cutting these billionaires in half. I'll take your football stadium. I'll take your Ferrari. I'll take your fucking pension. And then the regular chicks and ugly chicks are sitting there like this. Do you shake it? Is there a button you push? I don't understand like what happens here. Yeah, I know that's harsh. I know that's the part that people don't want to hear about society. It's true. But the universe has balance. Okay, so for every like plain Jane or ugly woman, there's a broke man to match to keep the universe in balance. And the broke man is the male equivalent to the regular or ugly woman, right? He too is also invisible, doomed to reintroduce himself every year at the Christmas party because women, they don't see him. He's invisible. Women are like Hannibal Lecter. They can literally look at your shoes and they can see your whole fucking life. So as you're approaching them, they just glance down at your shoes. They already know you have a broken cell phone screen, right? Some big stupid dog in a little studio apartment with a dirty aquarium. Some lizard died 8 months ago. You still haven't cleaned it up. And before you even open your mouth, their legs close and they fucking hop away. They're not breeding with them. These ugly women and these broke men just wander the streets. They run into each other and they breed. They make another generation. Yeah. And you're going to tell me that you still believe in a God that cares? Like this is... I'm saying this as a bald orange man, by the way. Alright? I look like a fucking lobster fisherman. Speaking from experience here. Yeah. I think we need to stop going to church every Sunday. Because I think all of this praise is going to God's head. You know, I think he started off great with the mountains, the prairies, the ocean so blue, and everything. You know, all of that is gorgeous. But you know, when you look at his work on humanity, it's pretty hit or miss. There's a lot of shoddy work, a lot of shit being slapped together. Like for every like truly empathetic, wonderful person you meet, how many just slap-jawed fucking morons? You know? can't close their mouth unless they're swallowing human beings. That should be. And what kills me about God is he takes no responsibility for his actions. None whatsoever. You know, it's like he only takes credit for the good shit. Oh, I made the fields of gold and the butterflies, the little puppies. It's like, yeah, you also made pedophiles, serial killers, warmongers, people that pour shit in the water supply, right? And he's like, oh, that isn't me, that's the devil. No, dude, that was you. That was you. You made that person, and then you just take regular people, you drop them into that stew, and you fucking stir it up, and you see what happens. Right? And you're a little kid, you go out, you collect it on your paper route, you get diddled by a customer, you set it aside, you don't go to your prom because you don't like being touched, you're in your 20s, you're trying to bang strippers, you're down at fucking DW's trying to run water before you go to work at Blockbuster. Your 30s, you're sleeping on a futon, you never got married. By the time you get in your 40s, you're just a cool uncle that never got married and still does drugs. And one day you're putting your nephew's toy together, you have a massive coronary from all the partying you did, your face planted in a tree, you're dead. And then you meet God, and he's got the nerve to look at you like, what the fuck was that all about? It's like, dude, I was gonna ask you the same question. Why did you make Uncle Touchy? I was on the road and just being a great guy until that bullshit happened. Why'd you make him? Oh, I didn't make him. I made a perfect baby, and then he listened to the devil. The devil made him do it. It's like, dude, isn't that your former employee? You don't want to go downstairs and handle it? I don't know what you're talking about. That's my thing. That is my thing. With all of these religions, is God takes no responsibility for his actions, which is why when somebody comes up to me now and says, I think God's a woman, I always say, I think you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, but you listened to the devil. It wasn't my fault. It all fucking tracks. Sorry, it was a long way to go. It was a long way to go, admittedly. So how do you guys think your Mavericks, your Stars, how you guys looking? Looking all right this year? Good sports fans, man. Good sports fans down here. I miss SMU, man. Got that little ass football fucking stadium. I liked it when you guys were fucking paying the money. And there was gold Trans Ams going to Eric Dickerson. That was the way you run a fucking football program. I love that shit. I love the boosters coming in, bringing in whores and cocaine. You know, that's how you win. That's how you fucking win. These goddamn cell phone cameras, you can't fucking do it anymore. I can't imagine how much less money whores are making. You know? Right? The locker room used to be like the steakhouse for the up-and-coming hooker. You know? You worked your way up to league. I say that no responsibility for their actions because you don't really bother me was that fucking, what was that Urban Meyer story? You know, coached Ohio State, crushed it there, and then he gets a job in the NFL, Jacksonville. They're immediately 0-3. He's in over his head and freaks out. He goes back to Ohio State, he goes to the bar, he gets hammered, he's having a good time, and this young chick's there, and he's fucking, you know, he's putting his arm around it, backing their asses into him, and all of this shit. And some fucking douche films it. Gets him in trouble, which he should get in trouble. He's a married guy, he shouldn't be doing that. I got all of that. But I was sitting home screaming at the TV, going, what about the whores? What about those whores? Why were they doing that? Why were they backing their little tight 22-year-old buns up onto his salt and pepper fucking pubes? Why were they doing that? Because the pockets went down to his fucking ankles and they were hoping some green was gonna fall out. That's what they were doing. Those whores got no shit. And he got all the shit. It's bullshit. Those whores, if they move, they should have to register in their neighborhood. There should be a sign up on a tree. We'll fuck your husband if his car is nice enough and he still wears cologne. I know it's not a popular opinion. All right. before I go into the final section of my ignorance this evening, if you guys watched my last special, I really appreciate it. I mentioned how I tried mushrooms for the first time. Never been a drug guy, I was always a booze guy. So I was like, I want to try these mushrooms. I got all this anger in me. Everybody's taking mushrooms. They see daffodils and butterflies and slide down the rainbow and fucking brush a unicorn's mane. I'm like, I want to fucking try this shit, right? So, whatever, I fucking tried it. I did not have a good trip. I didn't. It was just sadness and loneliness and depression and crying and all this shit. And, but you know how the hippies say, they're like, hey man, you don't get the trip you want, you get the trip you need, man, right? So, that was fucking brutal. And I finally figured myself out. I was like, fuck man, I gotta get sober. I gotta go to therapy, I gotta go back to that shit. And I don't want to pass whatever this demon is in me that's from my family tree onto my kids. I gotta break the curse here. So I went back to therapy, worked on some shit, confronted some people that did some shit to me. Now they carry it, I don't. I felt a little lighter. My wife actually noticed, gave me a couple of compliments. So, earlier this year, it's fucking great. So earlier this year, I was getting ready to shoot that movie that you guys saw the trailer for. And my wife was just going, thank you. My wife was going like, hey, I'm not gonna see you for like 4 to 6 weeks here when you shoot this. Maybe we should do a quick 3-day vacation. So I said, yeah, great. So she picks this place in the middle of nowhere in fucking Utah, right? Out in the desert. So I'm thinking, all right, the last time I went out there, I did some mushrooms, I had a bad trip. I don't know, I feel a little bit lighter. Maybe this time, I can, go down the water slide and have a good fucking time. I'm gonna try it. So I tell my wife, I go, hey, I'm gonna do some mushrooms, just to let you know. I'm gonna do some mushrooms. And she's just like, why would you do that? The last time you were clinging to the bedspread and I had to hold you for like an hour and 45 minutes as you cried out your entire childhood and figured out why you became a comedian instead of running an ice cream parlor in your fucking hometown. And I was like, I don't know, because I feel like I worked on myself. I want to see if I got that stuff out of me. And she's like, why? Why would you do that? We have 3 days. Why would you do that? And then I channeled that black guy from, was it Dirty Harry? I was just like, because I got to know. So she goes, all right, I'm not doing it with you. And when you go over the fucking waterfall, I'm not helping you out this time. And I was like, fine. So I called my buddy up. I said, hey man, who gave me the mushrooms the last time? I go, I'm going out to the desert again. Can you give me some more mushrooms? He goes, all right. He goes, sing them up. I go, no. This time, I just dipped my toe last time. This time, I want to go the whole fucking way. I want to light the fuse. I want to go up. I want to see what the fuck this is all about. And he goes, all right. What'd you take last time? I go, I ate 3 chocolate squares. He goes, double it. I go, double it. He goes, take 6. Eat 2 fucking rows of those things. Down the hatch. I go, I'll be fine. He goes, you'll be fine. I go, all right, cool, thanks. And right as I go to hang up, he just goes like, do. I'm like, what? He goes, let me know how it goes. Should have been a warning, but I didn't listen to it. Old dumbass Bill. So we fly out there. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. This gorgeous place, the quietest place I've ever been to. These big roadrunner coyote fucking cliffs, cactus, all of this shit. Super quiet, even during the day. At night you can see the entire, whatever, the constellations, galaxies, on into space, whatever. We see all the fucking stars, right? And it was like this eyes wide shut vibe to it. We don't really talk to each other. It was like the main area where everybody ate, and then you just went back to your bungalow. They drove you in a golf cart, and you just fucking sat out there in the quiet. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this on the first day. I'll do it on the second day. So if I fuck it up, then she can only be mad at me one day out there in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, first day I don't do shit, smoke a joint, we have a good time. The next day, about midday, I go, all right, I'm gonna do this shit. I'll eat these mushrooms. You wanna take some with me? She goes, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. You cleaned inside of what you think is a building, but it's not a building. I'm not fucking helping you. This is my vacation too. And I was like, I respect that. And I took all 6 and threw them down the hatch. I'm like, fuse is lit, baby. Here we go. Right? So she's like, you're a fucking idiot. I go, let's see. It's gonna be a good time. I'm feeling light, right? So we go into the main area. And she wants to get something to eat, so we sit down and we're eating. I'm just psyching myself up. It's gonna be a good time, it's gonna be fun, right? And all of a sudden I just get this text message out of nowhere. going, hey dude, I know you're on vacation, but you gotta give me a call, something really important. This isn't business related, but please call me. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this, right? So I called the guy up, and he told me Bob Saget died. Oh, yeah, he was a great friend to me and my wife, and we were just like, what the? I was like, there's no fucking way that's true, because it wasn't out yet. Like, that's not fucking true. There's no fucking way that happened. He's like, no, it's not out yet. I don't know what happened either. I just wanted you to hear from a friend. Right? So me and my wife were fucking crying. In this restaurant, I remember the fucking waiter had dropped off the food and he was coming back to check to see how it was. We're both fucking holding each other crying. This is like, oh shit, I didn't think it was that bad. And I'm crying with my wife and I'm just like, is this what fucking life is? Like if you live, you just keep losing all your friends and all the best ones. And then you go to the funeral, and the fucking assholes live forever, and they're the ones who talk at the funeral, and you just sit there silently like, this fucking guy hated you. He hinted you were fucking speaking right now, you fucking asshole. Yeah, right? So, I go through all of that, and then my wife looks up, big tears in her eyes, and she just looks at me, she goes, Bill, you just ate 6 squares of mushrooms 20 minutes ago. And I go, I know I did. I know I did. And you know why? Because this is my destiny. I'm never gonna slide down the rainbow. I'm never gonna brush a unicorn's mane. Those fucking things from hell are always gonna come up and get me because God fucking hates me, right? And she goes, well, why don't you make yourself throw up or something? I go, because I'm German-Irish and I see shit through. So now we finish the dinner. I'm fucking stunned from the news. We get in the golf cart, we're driving back, and I'm just trying to psych myself up, and I can just feel my wife. She's just staring at me, waiting for me to start wigging out. I'm like, this isn't happening! Stop staring at me, all right? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine! Woo! Here we go, right? So I get back to the bungalow, we get inside, I'm walking around, I'm fucking going, like, I'm dealing with shit, and all of a sudden I just felt that first twinge, that and I was like, what was that? Is that mushrooms? Am I having an aneurysm? What's happening? And then all of a sudden starts doing this shit. So I look at my wife like, it's coming on, what do I do? She's like, I don't know, go outside. I go, go outside? She's like, go outside. All right, go outside. And she literally like shooed me out like a fucking feral cat. Like, come on, get out of here, go outside. And she fucking closes the door. So now I'm standing outside in the middle of fucking nowhere with these cliffs and these fucking cactus, and all of a sudden the shit just fucking comes on, and I can't even explain it, because it was still light out. I'm looking at the cliffs, and all of a sudden, I just knew that I knew those cliffs were there, and I knew that the cliffs knew that I was right here, and the fucking cactus was over there, like, yeah, bro, what's going on? And welcome to outside, and there was shit moving over here, and all of a sudden, it wasn't just a bunch of non-human shit. I felt like I was in front of you guys, right? So in the middle of Utah, middle of fucking nowhere, I start doing a show to a cactus and cliffs. I'm just walking around going, all right, man, what's going on? Thanks for coming out today. I appreciate the positive energy from the cliffs, and I'm having a great time. I have no idea what I was talking about, but I found it fucking hilarious. And I thought the cliffs were liking it too, looking at me and shit, and everything was going great. And then out of nowhere, though, I just heard like a voice. Like, I couldn't make out what it said. It just was like, I was just like, did that come from over there? Or was that in here? Was that mushroom shit? Was that some real shit? I can't see anything. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I look up the cliff, like 3/4 way up where that mezzanine level is, and I look up and I see this thing moving up there. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look up and it looks like a little guy, and I'm looking closer, it's got a cowboy hat on. I'm like, is that a fucking cowboy up there? Is that a cowboy just like talking? And I'm thinking, wait, I'm on Native American land. Did I stick my head through a porthole? Am I in the 1800s? Is he gonna massacre somebody? Is he gonna get scalped? And all of a sudden the dude stops, and he's looking right at me. And I'm like, can that fucking guy see me? And then I don't know what, he just says hello to me, but it sounded like he was standing right there. Way the fuck up there, it was just like, hello. And I just like, what the fuck? So I just start slowly backing into the house. And I said, that guy's on a trail that doesn't exist up there, it's from another century. So I open the doors, I come in, I'm like, yeah, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a huge favor? Can you go outside and look up about 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock, 175 feet up. Is there a cowboy up there on a trail that doesn't exist saying hello to people who may or may not be from the 1800s? And then she just starts laughing. She's like, you're a fucking idiot. She just goes walking out. She's just like, yeah, there's nothing out here. There's nothing out here. I'm like, there's nothing out there. She goes, yeah, you're tripping balls. Come on, get out. Get out of the house. Get out. So I fucking walked back out again. And she was right. The cowboy was gone. Fucking cactus was still into the show. What was I talking about? I still did the rest of my show. Then the sun's going down and the shadows were getting long, so I started getting freaked out. So I fucking went inside and I sat down and my wife put on the football game and I watched the Raiders versus the Chargers. And I'm sitting there listening to Chris Collinsworth doing the pregame, going, I'll tell you right now, the Raiders' biggest problem tonight is going to be, and I'm sitting there in my head going, your biggest problem is your head is down by your belt right now. And I don't get how your lungs are putting air into your brain. And I start talking to my wife going, is Al Michaels' head like folded? It looks like pizza dough that you're starting to knead, like somebody did that, and then just sort of left it there. Is it orange? Is his head orange? And you're, she's going, no, you're tripping balls. I was like, it's fucking nuts. The blinds on the field were bent, the ball was flying around, but I was laughing, having a great time. So my wife finally was like, okay, he's gonna have a good trip. So she got up and she left. And she went to the bedroom to let me ride out the rest of my trip. And I had a great time watching the game. But somewhere in the fourth quarter, I started thinking of that cowboy again, right? Just thinking about it. It was driving me nuts. So finally I go to the bedroom. It's like, I gotta ask her. And I knock on the door. My wife's like, yes? I was like, yeah, it's Bill. She's like, I know. She's like, are you still tripping? And I was like, yeah. I was like, can I ask you a question? She goes, yeah. I came walking. I go, all right, that cowboy. That cowboy from earlier? Like, that wasn't real, right? That wasn't real? She goes, no, that wasn't real. You were hallucinating. I said, all right. Well, you know, what about that text message? What about the text message I got? Was that real? And she was like, yeah. Trinity's gone. And I was just like, thank God. She goes, did you just say thank God? And I was like, yeah. She goes, why would you say that? And I was like, well, because if it wasn't true, I was gonna have to text Jerry Seinfeld back that Bob didn't die. I'm just tripping on mushrooms. And I thought somebody sent me that. I thought I saw a cowboy. And then I have to deal with Jerry Seinfeld going, why would you do mushrooms and start texting me, telling me people die you didn't? So here's the epilogue. The epilogue to that story is the next morning we go down to get breakfast, and I'm standing up to finish paying breakfast, and I turn around, and who do I see? It's the fucking cowboy guy. And I go to my wife, there he is, that's the fucking cowboy guy, I'm telling you, that's the fucking cowboy guy. She goes, that's not him, it's not him, just shut up with that shit, we gotta go to the airport. So I get in the golf cart, and we start driving back to the bungalow, and the cowboy guy is behind us, he's driving in the golf cart, and he's behind us, what the fuck? So I pull into my bungalow, and I watch him, he drives right past us, and pulls into the bungalow right next to us, and that's when it hit me, like, holy shit, it wasn't a cowboy, it was him. He was going on a hike. He wasn't way the fuck up there. He was right there, and I was staring at him. So he said hello to me, and I didn't say hello back because I didn't think he was real. I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Dallas, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good evening. One more time for me and the Christina. Thank you. We'll see you. One more time for Burr. You guys are awesome. Go see you all dance in a couple of months. Good night.